Hey everyone, welcome to another ranking, and here's my ranking for the Muppets movies. Yes, I was always a pretty big Muppet fan. Like, I love the TV show, and they brought the TV show back this year, and it's pretty decent, and it just got me to thinking, maybe I should rank all the Muppet movies, because there's a lot of great Muppet movies. Actually, there isn't really a bad Muppet movie. There's just some average ones, and then there's just amazing ones. So yeah, I thought I'd rank all the Muppet movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Let's get started, shall we? Coming number 8 is Muppets from Space. Yes, this came out in like the late 90s, and this is the weakest Muppet movie. Like, yeah, Muppets from Space, alien Muppets, astronaut Muppets. That's cool. Sorta. Like, yes, I love seeing the Muppets again, seeing Kermit, Gonzo, Piggy, all of them. I love seeing them all again. This movie just isn't memorable, and it's just not as comedic as all the other films, and it doesn't have the great music or the great scores, and it doesn't have the joys of certain Muppet movies. This is kind of like an average episode of the Muppets, but like a 2-hour average episode of the Muppets. I enjoy aspects of the film. There are some moments that are really funny, but the other Muppet movies are just more fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. I've only watched this movie, I think, once ever, and that's all I ever need to watch it. It's not a bad movie, just not a great one. Muppets from Space, it's okay. Coming number 7 is Muppets Most Wanted. Yes, this one just came out last year, and honestly, I was so pumped for this movie, because the Muppets movie that came out in 2011 that redid the Muppets, it was fucking awesome. I couldn't wait for another one. Same director, a lot of the same people, just no Jason Segel and Amy Adams, but new cast, got Ty Burrell, Ricky Gervais. This movie is gonna be hilarious, right? It's fine. There are some aspects that are really, really funny. Then there's just some parts just don't hit at all. I didn't like that they used a little CG in the movie. I'm like, no, they're Muppets. Use puppets, for God's sakes. And yeah, the story of an evil Kermit, he's taking Kermit's spot, and that's kind of enjoyable, and some of it is funny, and like I love this every scene with the evil Muppet, with Ricky Gervais, those are hilarious. And the fact that Tina Fey's in this movie, and she's obsessed with Kermit, that's kind of funny. Some of the prison scenes are hilarious, but I don't know, just not a lot of the comedy aspects just really hit. Like, there's some great parts, but then there's just parts that just don't hit at all. It's not a bad Muppet movie, by no means, but it could have been great, and compared to the 2011 version, it's just average. Coming number 6 is The Muppets Take Manhattan, and yeah, this is a great movie. Like, this is not just an average one like Muppets from Space or Muppets Most Wanted. This is a great movie. This came out in 84-ish or something. I could be wrong. It's the third installment of the Muppets movie, and again, I love these movies. I love the old school Muppet movies. I love Jim Henson and Frank Oz in it. They both directed each individual Muppet movies. They all did a great job. The characters shine in this movie. This is when they were actually like musicals, like the Muppets were always musicals, and the musical numbers kick frickin' ass, and it's actually a decently shot film, and it's actually a very funny film. Why is it only number 6? Well, the other 5 are just better. Coming number 5 is The Great Muppet Caper. Yes, fucking love this movie. Love this movie. Love the villain. Love the musical numbers. Kermit is freaking hysterical. Him with Gonzo and Fuzzy Bear, they're freaking hilarious. The three of them together as these reporters, fucking hysterical. Just the situations they go through are just so bizarre and just so weird. Just, it works, though. It works. And, of course, the villain kicks ass in this movie. And I wish there was more musical numbers, because the musical numbers are so good in this movie. I wish there was a little more. This is the one Muppet movie that doesn't have as many musical numbers, but they're still great. And the characters are awesome, and it's an amazing movie. It's just a great Muppet movie. Coming number 4 is Muppet Treasure Island. This, actually, I think The Great Muppet Caper and The Muppets Take Manhattan are actually better movies than Muppet Treasure Island. I just personally like this movie better. I love this movie. I love Tim Curry in this movie. Tim Curry's the shit in this movie, but I just love it. It's just a great squashbuckling pirate movie with the fucking Muppets. That's awesome, right? And that opening song, the Shiver My Timbers, yes, shiver my timbers, shiver my soul. Yo ho in a pot of gold. Oh, I love that song. It's like one of my favorite Muppet songs. And this movie is just a fun adventure movie. It's just a fun adventure movie with my favorite characters, the Muppets. Coming number 3 is A Muppet Christmas Carol. Yes, there's so many versions of A Christmas Carol that are just so awesome. Scrooged. A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott, A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. There's just so many variations of A Christmas Carol, and this is like my second favorite. My favorite version of A Christmas Carol is the George C. Scott A Christmas Carol that was in the 80s. That is my all-time favorite A Christmas Carol. I love A Christmas Carol. I love the story of A Christmas Carol. I love that the Muppets made their own Christmas Carol, and it's just done so freaking well. They actually went very true to the source material of A Christmas Carol, and they did it very good. They did it with some great comedy and some really good dark atmosphere at times, and I love that Gonzo is narrating this entire movie, and he's just constantly breaking the fourth wall. Like all Muppet movies, they all break the fourth wall, but he does it in just such a great humor. It's so funny. Michael Caine's in this movie as Scrooge, and he's great. Some of his musical numbers aren't always that great, but I really liked him. I loved him when he was the grumpy Scrooge, and I love how they change him, and yeah, I love it. I love it. Kermit is great in this movie, and I loved him and Miss Piggy, and I loved how they did all the dream sequences, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, Ghost of Christmas Future, and the way they did it, it was very well done. The puppets looked great, and everything about this movie was great. It had the great dark atmosphere like A Christmas Carol, but also had the great comedy of a Muppets movie. Coming number 2 is the Muppet Movie. Yes, this came out in 1979, and this was fucking awesome. Did I just say frickin'? Fucking fuck. It's awesome. I don't know what I'm saying, but this movie's awesome. 1979, the Muppet Movie, it's so freaking good. This was always my favorite Muppet movie. Always. Then 2011 hit, and then that kind of changed, but I love this movie. I love that they made a theatrical movie of the Muppets. Like, the Muppet Show was always great, and it holds very dear to me. Yes, the new show's out. It's definitely not as good as a lot of these movies, and it's definitely not even close to being good as the original show. But I just love the Muppets, and this was the first time the Muppets were brought to movies. They were brought to theaters. I was not even born when this movie came out, but I got to watch this movie on VHS, and I loved it. I loved it. The cameos in this movie are freaking awesome. Got Orson Welles, Mel Brooks, Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, Bob Hope. All of them are great. All of them are hilarious, and of course this had the introduction to the song Rainbow Connection. Is that what that song's called? I think it is. I could be wrong, but great song, great musical numbers, great breaking the fourth wall jokes, and just all the characters are here and they're amazing, and this movie is amazing. And my number 1 favorite Muppet movie is The Muppets. Yes, 2011's The Muppets. I freaking loved this movie. This movie just shocked the living shit out of me. When the previews came out, I was excited for it, but I never thought it would be my favorite Muppets movie. 2011, this did make my top 10 favorite movies of 2011. It wasn't like my number 1 or 2. That was like The Artist and Hugo, The Descendants, Moneyball, that shit. But it was in my top 10. I loved this movie. This movie is fantastic, and it still holds up. I've seen this movie about 7 or 8 times. I still can't get sick of it. I love the musical numbers. The numbers. I've got everything that I need right in front of me. And of course, I'm a man Muppet. Yes, just awesome musical numbers, and just, it's hilarious. From start to finish, this movie is hysterical. Of course, the breaking the fourth wall jokes are there, and they're freaking hilarious. I love how this movie opens. I even love the new character, Walter, and I love the human version of Walter, Chip Parsons. And the cameos are great. Yes, they got more modern cameos, like Neil Patrick Harris and Whoopi Goldberg. But they work, and Alan Arkin, and I love Chris Cooper as the villain. Yes, maniacal laugh, and bringing all the characters, Fuzzy Bear, Gonzo, Kermit, Miss Piggy, all of them back, and they're freaking awesome. And of course, drums, and of course Jack Black. Jack Black is hysterical in this movie. It's just so funny. The jokes just hit. Every single joke in this movie hits. There is not a single joke that misses in this movie, and it's freaking awesome. And I love the main human characters. I love Jason Segel. I love Amy Adams. They're great in this movie. Their chemistry is great, and their comedic timing is great. Jason Segel wrote this movie, and he wrote a fantastic movie. The dialogue was great. The writing was great. All the characters were all great. And this movie is just amazing. It's a great musical movie. It's one of my all-time favorite live-action Disney movies, and just all in all, it's an amazing movie. I love The Muppets, and it's my favorite Muppet movie. So yeah, that was my ranking of the Muppets movies from my least favorite to my favorite. So in the comment section below, please tell me what is your ranking of all the Muppets movies. Your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.